Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a look at callback functions. So, what are they? Well, they are functions that are passed into other functions as an argument. And like its name suggests, at some point you could call the function back. A function that takes another function as an argument is called a higher order function. Callbacks are great for event listeners. So if I'm listening for a click event, I will want to call a function back when that click happens. They're also great for asynchronous operations. Okay, so let's look at a coding example. So an example we could use would be the setTimeout function. The setTimeout function is a higher order function because it accepts a callback, and now all we have to do is pass a function that we want to call back once the time is finished. Here we can pass an arrow function. This function will log hello world, and then we will pass a time of 2000 milliseconds as the second argument. Now what we'll see is that once I press save, there will be a delay of 2 seconds, and then we'll see a log in the console. Cool, on to some theoretical questions. You might be asked to explain what a callback is, and you could say something like, a callback is a function passed into another function as an argument, and that function is called back at some point. You might also be asked, what are some common array methods that accept callbacks? You could say something like, some common array methods that accept callbacks are map, for each, reduce, and filter, just to name a few. Lastly, you might get a question asking, what is callback hell and how can you avoid it? So, you might have several asynchronous operations and they may need to be performed in order. So, callback hell will occur because you'll get this deeply nested code that sort of looks like a pyramid, and it can be incredibly difficult to read or maintain. This can be fixed by using promises or async and await keywords. Okay, on to the coding questions. So one question you might receive would be to implement a counter from scratch using HTML and vanilla JavaScript. So we've got a button here as well as a count div. We can go ahead and add a counter variable, and we will declare it using let. Then we can target the button using query selector. And once we've gone ahead and done that, we can also target the count div by using query selector as well. Once that's done, we can add an event listener to the button, and we will add a callback function. Now, the callback function will increment by 1 on each click. And then we will update the inner text of the count div to be the current value of the counter. Now, every time we click the button, we'll increment the counter by 1. And we can see that that is true if we go ahead and go to the web page. You might also be asked to create a higher order function that accepts a callback. First, we can make an adder function that adds 2 values together. We'll have 2 parameters, val1 and val2. And what we'll do is return the value when they're added together. Next, what we can do is create a high order function that takes a function, fn as a parameter, and then 2 values, x and y. Inside of the function body, we can return the result of the function by calling fn and then passing x and y values to that function. Now, if we go ahead and call the function by passing the adder as the first argument, then 7 as the second argument, and 2 as the third argument, if we log the result, we will get an output of 9. Now, you might get asked more advanced questions like maybe to create a debounce or a throttle function, and we'll cover those in their own videos. But that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the videos.